All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. NASDAQ, little gap higher this morning. Little bit of a gap higher. Okay. So let's zoom out a little bit. Let's zoom out. We've been talking about this higher time frame, daily and weekly time frame support zone. Anytime you're looking at higher time frame structures, like a daily time frame area of support, it ends up being a pretty wide zone, right? But we know that this is all support, what we've been talking about over the past couple of weeks. And what I still think is the case for this structure, talking about this right through here, is that it will not actually break down until we start to see some acceptance beneath both of these pivots right through here. Talked about that yesterday, talked about that the week prior. That continues to be the case. It is much more clear on the weekly chart, right? So yesterday and the day prior, we were talking about the 24,500 area of support. Just looking at that February 17th low, tested on Monday, tested Monday morning and held. Yesterday, tested again, actually looked beneath. Actually, did successfully look beneath that 500 area, that February 17th low. Sellers had a decent shot there to push price into this February 5th low at 24,240. They failed to do so. They failed to do so. So on the higher time frames, this is a failure to show acceptance beneath 450, 500, right? Price just kind of looks beneath on the higher time frames and then quickly reclaims. Now remember what I had just talked about. Daily time frame shows price still in a key area of support. It's looking beneath this most recent pivot, but it's still support zone. Still support until it's not. Still support until you start to see, some daily closures beneath some of those major pivots. And so again, we get the bounce. We get the bounce, right? 500 holding, and price just puts in a nice rally, retest 24,800. And then to recap, to bring us into today's action, getting down into the 60-minute chart. Here's yesterday, overnight sesh comes back again, retest 500 and holds. Now price is up through prior day high. So really what I want to see for today and this morning is whether buyers can actually hold price above this point right here, 24,800 by 850. 850, 24,850 is the prior day high. So I want to see if buyers are going to be able to show acceptance up above prior day high. And if so, I would expect price to go for 25K and then up into 25,100, which should be this week's high. Yeah, that's the high from this week. 24, or excuse me, 25 101 102. So let's see. Now, if this area fails, like if buyers cannot actually hold above 24,800, my expectation then would be for an inside day. And I'll be looking at how price responds to 700. Where's our overnight low? Overnight low's still way down there at 500. So yeah, I'll be looking at, again, if 800 fails, I'll be looking at 700, potentially 580, and potentially all the way back down into 500. Frankly, would not expect prior day low to trade. Certainly is possible, but would not expect that. So let's see how we're looking today. Let's see how things unfold. We do have 30 seconds till the open with NQ right here on prior day high. And I believe we have a 10 a.m. print today as well. Yeah, we do have a 10 a.m. data print and then Fed's beige book today. So ISM, yes, sir. Pratik. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. DTA targeting prior decade low post 10 a.m. Let's go. Let's go, man. Prior decade low. I think we have bigger issues if prior decade low is going to be taken out. Nasdaq up through overnight high 24,930. Good volume right off the open, per usual. Per usual. Nothing unusual there. Clean that up. Clean this up right here. I wish there was like an easier way to just have like a quick drawing on a trading view chart. Maybe there is, and I just don't know about it. So Nasdaq looks above overnight high so far. ES flirting with that prior day high. Oh, Bitcoin finally moving for the BTC enjoyers. Pratik, I have the shortcut right down here off screen. But I mean, like, I wanna draw a line and then it disappears in 30 seconds. Nasdaq 955, almost into session highs. Alan, use Stream Deck for quick drawing tools. So you put your trading view tools right into your Stream Deck. That's a good idea. I may have to try that out. Christian, I'll DM you later for that drawing tool. Sweet. Heck yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I need the plug on that That little mini screen setup you have too. I was looking at that. Little, it looks like a little 12-incher, maybe a little 15-inch screen. It's clean. Although I seriously don't know if I have the desk space for for any more screens. So Nasdaq fresh highs, got a little structure there at overnight high. No position for me on that. Price is getting into 25K, 000. Volumes below average. Jeff APT grabbed a nice MYM long prior to open. Let's see. I'm set up on YM. So nothing on YM other than yesterday's short. ES session lows. Let's see if NQ wants to give us some lower prices. Yeah, ES a rejection at prior day high. It actually gave a little bit of a decent upthrust there right off the open at overnight high. I haven't traded ES in a while. Throw on ES with a break and retest of 9:30 open back to daily open. So are you going midnight? What's your daily open? Midnight? Are you looking at midnight or the actual Globex? Globex, okay. Got you. Walter Bloomberg, Bitcoin hits 1-month high. Nasdaq below average volume. Pretty slow open, if you ask me. Nasdaq, let's see a retest into prior day high. ES is pressing the lows. Yeah, RTY is puking. See YM lower as well. Okay. Nasdaq, there's prior day high. See if we get any sort of bounce here, maybe a spring with the session low, or if we're going to test 24,800 and then close the overnight gap down into 737. Personally, still cash. Bill's going for 760. Prior day volume point of control right through there. Yeah, I could see that. Nice trade. Nice trade there on ES. That's a early day right there. Nice early day. Andre, where's the volume? That's what I'm saying, man. Below average right here. Five-minute work week. You gotta call Tim Ferriss. Tell him we need a rewrite. Yeah, Nasdaq sitting on prior day high right here. No volume. Staying patient in this area. I want something extra clean, high quality. Otherwise, we'll wait for 10 a.m. ES about to crack. I see ES just sitting on prior day volume point of control and then the gap fill spot 68.20. You got the weekly open right there as well. Below 68.20. I'm definitely in agreement. And Q, new low of day. So on that new low, NASDAQ, no real uptick in volume just yet. Opening 15-minute bar just closed. Big wick. Bearish 15-minute bar to start the day. And look at the 30. Let's see the hourly. Andre NQ spring. That is a spring setup. I'm going to wait for second entry. No entry taken there. Price is near the upper portion of a near-term range. So my goal is to be less aggressive with longs as price approaches resistance than I would be down near support. What do you wait for on second entry? High or low? Pretty simple, high or low. Support springs are higher quality. Agreed. So a little bit of a bounce there on NASDAQ from prior day high, 850, with a little intraday spring setup. There's an undercut of the session low. Right, undercut of the session low that then bounces with a reference point. It's a valid trade opportunity. Per my framework, anyway. Let's get our regular session profile. There we go. Ten minutes till 10 a.m. Still cash on the morning. NASDAQ back in an overnight high. Rich grabs second entry. Oh man. Let's see. You must have been on, yeah, you must have been on 15 second right there at 900. on the 1 second chart. Okay, so intraday structure starting to give us more information, right? Let's look at the turning points. Crazy as Rich a bot. I think Rich trades from his phone standing on top of residential rooftops. A bot could never. Bot could never do that. Christian, just saw your execution in the think tank. That's clean. 10 points. 10 points a day on ES. You can make a living. You can make a living 10 points a day on ES. Been saying for years. That was back before we even traded NQ. Feels like a lifetime ago. Okay, so NASDAQ getting back into overnight high. Can price break above overnight high and then offer some sort of structure? The one entry I've seen so far within my framework was the spring setup at the low. I passed on it and explained why earlier. So still cash. What is this song? This is not going to fly. There we go. We do have a data print in 6 minutes. Probably low impact, but good to have awareness nonetheless. Well, FinViz says higher impact. So, FYI. NASDAQ 5-minute is directionless for today's sesh. So far, our price has bounced versus the prior day high, prior day value area high right through there. Definitely a slower open than we've seen so far this week. There's a morning of patience right here. Rich, I was waiting for an actual retest into prior day high. So not volume, but location. So far, it's pretty much the only entry I could take per my system. And data in 90 seconds. So post data, looking at reaction here, overnight high. Couple of ideas I'm watching for right now. Something like this. Enter through there. Price wants to come back in a prior day high. Enter through there. Right near session lows. For now, just staying patient. What's our range on the day? 144 points. Okay. Okay. YM bounce first, weekly open. RTY bounce first, weekly open. ES bounce first, weekly open. Des, nice. Good first trade back. There's 10 a.m. data. NQ into the highs. Is that a new high? Not quite. Not quite a new high of day. Just shy. And ES retesting prior day high as well. NASDAQ marking a new high on the day. And NQ, good volume coming in on that data print. So looking for an entry. Looking for an entry. The gap higher is held. NQ's coming into 25K. Critique if it went for 10 a.m. What were you looking at? What were you eyeing? Friday point of control 6835. You use extended hours, right? For prior day profile? Because I'm showing 6825. NASDAQ so far swept the high and just back into this intraday structure here. Potentially a sideways range day in the making. It's pretty early still. 35 minutes in, but no direction on the day. Sideways day so far. Andre, no volume. Yeah, volume's pretty lackluster. Let's see how overnight high is going to be treated. NQ pretty much has tested 25K. It's a tricky spot. It's definitely a tricky spot. I like the long right there for the first trade of the morning. Let it work. Although if my comment about the range day is correct, this will most definitely get stopped. But that'll give us more MGI, more market generated information. Second peel and protect the rest. Either goes now or it trails. We take our 30 points. Renee Santana, I've been getting great results with the 2-hour trader framework. That is great to hear. I'm happy to hear that. Just to understand, will I be able to fully understand the concepts behind your current long only strategy? Is there a dedicated mentorship section where all the material is organized? So it's not like yes and no. You'll definitely be able to learn everything that I do, but it is not organized in like a course format. The sessions that we have are loosely organized, and all the material is recorded and there, but it's not like, because they are live coaching sessions every week, the format kind of follows, what is relevant to that day, what is relevant to that week, what questions the members have at that time. Make sense? So it's not like another course, but all the information is there if you want to go through it. And I'm sure there are plenty of think tank members right now in this YouTube chat that can attest to that and that can tell you about it as well. Catrick, same entry. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's see if we get the new high of day. And if they want this right at 25K, one tick before 25K, I'll give it to them. We got to tighten this. We're like two ticks from target. Tighten. Come on, give me 25K. Albert, what was the entry thesis? So I was looking at market structure near overnight high, my nearest reference point. All right, we got to tighten even more. I have to do it. One little push here, 25K. Come on, there you go. Thank you. So Albert's asking about the trade idea. Let's look at it now that I'm out. Price makes a fresh high of day post 10 a.m. My nearest reference point. Where is it? Overnight high right there here, right? So if you scroll back in the stream, what I talked about using a path of price tool was wanting to see a fresh high and then a retest into overnight high and then a move into 25K. Now, price is not always going to pan out, exactly as we draw it out, but we can see That is nearly identically what happened here. You get a new high of day, you get the pullback in close proximity to overnight high. So I'm just looking for a structure near overnight high that I can set my risk against. And then I'm going to be targeting 25K. That's the basic premise there. Albert, let me know if it makes sense. Chrissy. Chrissy, what's happening, man? Albert, where would stop loss be? It was right below, right there. It should have been visible if you scroll back on the stream a little bit. When I brought up the execution, should have been visible. Stop was right there. Renee Santana, yeah, everything is recorded. Everything is recorded. So we're 1 for 1 on the morning. At this point in time, we're watching the reaction versus 25K on NASDAQ. And basically, if sellers fail to defend 25K, where is the obvious spot that price will go? 25,100, right? This week's high. Pretty straightforward. Where's Mish? Mish is in the think tank. I don't think he tunes into the stream. He said I'm too distracting for him. So so I don't think he watches the stream. Said he couldn't handle all my yapping. Yeah, shout out to Mish. Shout out to Mish. I think Mish is going to Italy next week. $25K rejecting. Staying patient right now. Looking for that next entry. How's the morning so far? How's everyone's morning? We're 45 minutes into this regular session. Josh lived in Italy from 2008 to 2010. Nice. Teak 1 for 1. B-Link 1 for 1. Rich 2 for 2. Albert 1 for 1. Mike 2 for 2. Let's go. All right. Muggsy 2 for 2 off 25K. Nice. Quick hits. Quick hits right there. 8 lunch 1 for 1. Josh 2 for 2. Cash. Okay. All right. All right. That's solid. Catrick, a lot of green today. Let's go. Let's go. Ultimately, red or green, that's an outcome, right? We just gotta make sure we're locked into our process. Make sure we're following our process, respecting our rules, staying dialed in to the process, to our system. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Every time you deviate, even if you make money, you set yourself back. And honestly, you'll give back those gains. If you break your rules and you make money, consider that a short-term loan with very high interest from the market, because the market's going to take it back and is going to collect its interest. I can pretty much guarantee you that. Yeah, that's just facts right there. Worse than check cashing payday loan. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay. NQ new highs. So buyers are here, right? Buyers are here. Looks like they want the 25,100 level. That's what it looks like to me anyway. So we'll see what that next entry may look like. 25K is the nearest level of interest, although I would need to see a sufficient extension above 25K. And still just with one trade this morning. What do we do? 35 to 25K? Not bad. Almost 70 points. There's NASDAQ structure. Let me see the 2 hour. Yeah, 25,100 should be interesting. How long has price? I mean, price has pretty much been in this. bought right here since February 12th. This has been your home for the better part of a month. And then if you zoom out even more, I mean, look at this. We're going on 6 months in this range right here since mid-September. So daily barcode within a larger range at play. Let me see the ES structure. Yeah, so NASDAQ almost into 25,100. Let's take a look at the ES structure. Pretty similar, except ES did actually undercut that February 5th low, which NASDAQ did not. So, okay. ES is coming into last month's volume point of control as well as the year to date value area low, and that is at 6885. So that'll be a significant level there. Whoop. YM. And yeah, all the indices are just, for the most part, sideways. RTY, wow. BTC finally moving. We did BTC weekly. Technicals, you gotta love them. Okay, so NQ getting into that resistance zone. This might be an early sesh for me. I cannot establish new longs in this red zone here. So I would need price to really break above and then retest, or give me a pullback into 25K. Lately, I've just been loving the one and done, morning. One and done efficient, both mentally and account wise. Yeah. Yeah. Especially mentally. Especially mentally. Just feels good to be done after one trade. So NQ just shy of 25,100. That's this week's high. Pretty much to the tick. 25,101.75. It looks like. Oh, Dave, that sounds like a long day, man. Glad you recovered. Okay, NQ's marking fresh highs on the week. Let's see how the higher time frames respond here. Now we have volume coming in. Looks like that 10 a.m. print was high impact after all. This thing is nonstop. Yeah, the 10 a.m. print brought the volume. We can see that. Like, look at pre 10 a.m., right? The open is always going to have big spike in volume versus post 10 a.m. That is part of why I like to segment my morning pre 10 a.m., post 10 a.m. Then after that, you have midday lull. But a lot of the times, post 10 a.m. is going to offer the easier opportunities. Green 1 for 1, nice. So right now, I would either need just a continuation move, continuation of this trend, basically like this, right? Or kind of the two ideas that I'm watching from here. But it very well could just be a one and done morning. Josh, might be gym time. Yeah, I hear that. Don't want to chase the highs, right? Personally, if I was shorting, I wouldn't want to fade the move without higher time frame confirmation, even though there's a good spot for it. So it's like a sit on your hands moment here. Kind of interesting. RTH chart, price attempting to clear a lot of resistance in this zone. Chrissy, finally some expansion. Finally some expansion within a broader range. But yeah, I agree. I agree. Finally getting out of this nearly month-long barcode, like pure daily barcode right here. This is crazy. We have to celebrate the little wins. Yeah, I hear that for sure. Albert's Dream Sacrifice. What journaling software do you recommend? Depends on how involved you want to be and what your current process is for journaling, for review. You could go as simple as possible and free and just do a Notion template. You could do paid software like TradeZella or TraderView. I've been messing around with TradeZella recently. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Patrick made his own with AI. Nice. Let's take a look at intraday fibs here. The 50 currently sits right there near 25K. Wow, look at that. APT. Look at that YM long. That is a banger right there. My goodness. Let's go. Let's go. Fully automated. Gotta love some automation. Patrick, time for the fibbler. Yes, sir. So I like that 25K. I like the 50%. You have at least currently at value area high for RTH and extended hours right through there. So yeah, if we got a signal at 25K with some elevated RVol, I like that trade idea. The challenge now, and what I'm thinking about right now, is basically if we're going to consider this a near-term range, prices now come from support and tested resistance. So on the higher time frames, Again, just assuming this range holds, where's price going to go? Back into support. That's how ranges work. That means you got to be careful at the levels of interest in the middle of the range. Don't diddle in the middle. Do not diddle in the middle. So we'll see. We will see. These shallow pullbacks, like a pullback into 25-100, I can't do anything there. I cannot. Can't do it. Can't do it. I think it might just be time to call, to be honest. Just take the one trade. 1-for-1 on the day. No losses so far this week. And this is the lead 50K account that I trade that is then copy traded. There we go. Just one and done. We'll take it. We'll take it. 3 micros. $200 copy traded. All right, should we call it? I think we'll call it. All right, folks. Thanks for your time. We'll be live tomorrow. Quick sesh today. Quick one and done. For late morning, if you're still trading, you're watching late morning, we want to see if buyers are going to trigger the break of this key area of resistance. And if so, it really opens up. It really opens up, right? Up above 25-100, up above 25-140. So I would look for continued extension and then a retest into this zone here for a potential re-entry. I would also consider longs versus 25K if price gets there. But overall, I mean, I showed up, I followed my process, I respected my rules. It's a green day. I'm happy with it. So we'll call it. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks. And we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.